In the meantime, we're going to be talking about Alabama. And apparently, their governor signed a bill criminalizing transgender healthcare for minors. That's not good. That's not good. Alabama is the third state in the country to pass a restriction on gender-affirming care for minors. That's the first to include criminal penalties. Criminal penalties! Oh no. We're all going to be criminalized for being trans. And that's... Is that her? That's the Alabama governor? No. No! No way. Governor Kay Ivey gives the state of the state of... Okay, I see what you've done there. To a joint session of the Alabama legislature in the old House chamber of the Alabama state capitol in Montgomery, Alabama on February 4th, 2020. She old. Yeah, she is. Look at her. She old. That's going to be me one day, okay? I can't say too much. All things considered, if everything goes right, that's going to be me one day, okay? I'm going to have the white hair. I'm going to be looking all like... I'm going to get a perm, okay? I'm going to get a perm. I'm going to get my hair all short and get it all curly, just like my grandma did. And get a nice old perm. And then I'm going to go to the game store and I'm going to buy my grandchildren a Nintendo GameCube. And I'm going to be like, what the fuck is this? And I'm going to be like, just play it. Just fucking play some Smash Brothers, okay? All right. Okay, let's crack into this article, shall we? Oh, gosh. It is so bright. It's just really bright. It's really bright having white on everything, you know? Okay, is that a little bit better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, I don't have this blasting my ass with white balance fuckery anymore. Never letting my hair turn white except my bangs. Oh, that's fucking cool. Okay, that's fucking cool. I like that look, all right? I like that a lot. Okay, let's get started. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey signed 2 bills Friday that target transgender young people and classroom discussion of LGBTQ identities. One of the bills makes it a felony for medical professionals to provide gender-affirming care to people under 19. Her signature makes Alabama the 3rd state in the country to pass a measure restricting transition-related care, though it is the 1st state to impose criminal penalties. Ivey said in a statement that she signed the bill because she believes that, quote, if the good Lord made you a boy, you are a boy, and if he made you a girl, you are a girl. Well, you know what? Good Lord made me a girl. Just so happens I have to get my hormones aftermarket. Just how it goes, I guess, for some of us. It's just how it goes, you know? Sometimes we need aftermarket hormones. That's just how it is. You can't say anything about it, you know? You want a Cruella white streak when you get older? Oh, that's so hot. I love that. I'm so behind that idea. All right. We should especially protect our children from these radical, life-altering drugs and surgeries when they are at such a vulnerable stage in life, she said in a statement. Major medical organizations, including the American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the American Psychological Association, oppose restrictions on gender-affirming care for minors and say they go against best practice standards and will harm the well-being of trans youth. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Makes really sense. Ivey also signed another bill that will bar transgender students from using sex-segregated school facilities that align with their gender identities and will prohibit classroom discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in grades K through 5, adopting language used in a bill recently signed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that critics have dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill. Yeah, that's... I mean, yeah, it sounds like... It sounds like the exact same thing, to be honest with you. It sounds like the exact same thing. Ivey referred to part of the bill that focuses on bathrooms and other sex-segregated facilities as a no-brainer and said it will also ensure our elementary school classrooms remain free from any kind of sex talk. Okay. When I was in kindergarten, they didn't give me the sex talk. Okay? I don't know about anybody else, but when I was in kindergarten, they didn't talk to me about that. You know what my priority was in kindergarten? Coloring and staying inside the lines. That's fine, Dark Love. Have a good lurk. That was my problem. That was my issue in kindergarten, was coloring and coloring in the lines, okay? I was a little bit of a creative kid, all right? I wanted to explore a little bit. My problem was staying in the lines, okay? Grade 1, I skipped grade 1, so I don't know what my problem was with grade 1. I skipped that one. Grade 2, you know what I was doing in grade 2? Reading, okay? I was learning how to read. I was learning big words. Reading was my big thing in grade 2. You know what my big thing in grade 3 was? Math. Oh, math. They really fucked me up with the math. Oh. Grade 4, they started like doing science and stuff. Like taking me to like fucking seeing how a plant grows and shit like that, you know? Like you take a lima bean and you put it in a napkin and you get it all wet and then like you come back after the weekend and it's got like a little spurt on it. You learn something that way, you know? I don't know. Like I didn't have sex ed until like 7th grade. Now maybe that's a little bit too late. Maybe I should have had it in 6th grade. But I had sex ed in 7th grade. And the only thing that I really learned from that was you wear a condom or your dick falls off. That's it. Those are the only 2 options you got. That was pretty much all I was taught in sex ed. I think we need to be a little bit more prepared for the world at that point, you know? The restriction on gender-affirming medical care will take effect in 30 days unless it faces legal action, which is likely. 2 groups of civil rights organizations announced Thursday that they plan to sue should Ivy sign the bill. The bathroom and education-related bill will take effect in July unless it faces litigation. Transgender youth in the state are already bracing for the bill's impacts. 9th grader Harley Walker, 15, spends her time after school like many girls her age, doing homework, listening to Taylor Swift, collecting records, and hanging out with friends. But this year, her spring break also included trying to persuade members of the state House and Senate to reject 2 bills Ivy signed on Friday. If the healthcare restriction takes effect, Harley will no longer be able to take testosterone-blocking drugs. Honestly, I'm a little scared now, she said Thursday after learning the bill had passed, but we're going to fight no matter what. Harley said she's holding out hope the bill will be blocked by a court. Alabama is among the multiple states with Republican-controlled legislatures that have advanced bills not only to block medical treatment, but to ban transgender children from using school restrooms or playing on sports teams that don't correspond with their sex at birth. The Alabama healthcare bill is one of the most far-reaching. It would put doctors in prison for up to 10 years for prescribing puberty blockers or hormonal treatment to trans kids under 19. 10 years in prison? A decade. A decade in prison for doing what medical professionals recommend we do for transgender youth. For following the science behind us, you get 10 years in prison. Tell me how that's not just like the most fucking anti-science thing you've ever heard in your entire life. What is this? This is fucking... In one breathtakingly cruel and cowardly day, the Alabama legislature passed the single most anti-transgender legislative package in history, said Catherine Oakley, state legislative director and senior counsel for the Human Rights Campaign, a national advocacy group for the LGBTQ community. Conservative lawmakers say the measures are needed to protect children and parental rights. We regulate all kinds of things that are harmful for minors: alcohol, cigarette smoke, vaping, tattoos, because their minds aren't ready to make those decisions about things that can affect them long term. You think being trans is like getting a tattoo? Really? Really? Okay, here's the thing, right? Is that a tattoo, you can get drunk. Okay? You can get really drunk and wander into a tattoo shop, and some unscrupulous gentleman who wants to make an extra buck will certainly tattoo whatever you would like on your drunk ass body. Okay? You can do that. I've done it before. The thing about that is, A, you're drunk, obviously. And B, what decision you make in that moment is a permanent decision. It's irreversible. Okay? If you make a decision one day to start taking hormones, sex-changing hormones, right? If you start one day to take testosterone or estrogen when your body makes the opposite, and then a week later, you're like, I'm not so sure about this. I'm not so sure this is what I want. I think I want to stop. Guess what you can do? Guess what you can do if you don't want to do it? You could just not take your fucking hormones. You could just stop taking them. I know. Oh, it's a wild concept, I know, but it's amazing, isn't it? It's not a permanent choice, okay? I have to take my hormones today. I have to. Or else my levels aren't going to be right. Okay? But if I choose to detransition, I can just stop taking my hormones at any point. At any point. I don't have to be taking these, okay? Now, I'm not going to choose that. But I could, okay? And that's the point. That's the point, okay? Even a piercing you could take out. I got my belly button pierced recently. Even a piercing I could take out and just let it heal. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? It blows my mind. Things are reversible. Said Rep. Wes Allen, the sponsor of the House version of the Alabama legislation. Allen cited public hearing testimony from a woman who said she regretted taking hormone therapy to try to transition to being male. With these powerful medications that have detrimental effects on their body long term, we just want to put a pause on it. Give them a chance to develop and grow out of that. Grow out of that! Honey, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. You must not know a whole lot of trans people, okay? If you're trans and you know it, honey, you're not going to grow out of that. And repressing is going to make you feel worse. Every single day. Every single day. It's going to make you feel worse. Just ask literally half the trans people I talk to on an average day. Okay? Literally, just go up to any of them and ask them. They'll literally listen to one detransitioner instead of 10,000 trans people. Yeah, I know. It's selection bias, isn't it? Is it just that fucking Quisling who wrote that WAPO article, or just someone you made up? I don't know what that means. Sorry. You don't grow out of it. You just survive with dysphoria until you eventually end life. Yeah. Yeah, go figure. Dysphoria is kind of a bitch. And doesn't really feel all that great. I was literally emotionally dead before I transitioned. Yes! Yes, Clara, yes! I don't mean that's good for you, of course. I'm glad that you're not that way anymore. But I mean to empathize with you because I was the exact same way. I feel like I didn't feel any of my emotions, that the range of emotion that I felt was extremely limited, that I basically had two modes, either angry or okay, and there were no emotions in between. And it helped me achieve a lot of things because I was able to just like yell at people and not feel bad about it. But it didn't really help me connect with who I am as a person. It didn't really help me connect with other people. Age of consent in Alabama is 16. Age of consent for HRT is 19. Ha! Go figure. Yeah, exactly. A lot of these states that are coming out and doing all these anti-trans bills are also doing bills for like child marriage and shit. It's really disgusting. I was literally in a mental health ward in the military because I couldn't take the dysphoria anymore. I'm glad I came out and I'm happy. Yes, I'm glad too. Thank you. I'm glad that you're living your life as you. And I'm so happy to know you. You're one of my greatest friends. And I thank you for being as close to me as you are. All right, let's continue on with the article. Opponents say transgender health is being used as a deliberate political wedge issue to motivate a voting base, in the same way that they say bills about critical race theory have been employed. Critical race theory is a way of thinking about America's history through the lens of racism. Numerous Republican-controlled legislatures have proposed bills to block its teaching in public schools. The measures involving trans youth have prompted swift backlash from medical experts, Democratic President Joe Biden's administration, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the families of trans youth. Last month, the Justice Department sent a letter to all 50 state attorneys general, warning them that blocking transgender and non-binary youth from receiving gender-affirming care could be an infringement of federal constitutional protections. My child is not a political tool. This is not a fair fight to pick on vulnerable children, said Vanessa Finney-Tate, the mother of a 13-year-old trans boy in Birmingham, Alabama, after testifying at a public legislative hearing on a bill that would block students from using bathrooms corresponding to their gender. Harley's father, Jeff Walker, notes that many of the same Alabama lawmakers who supported the ban on gender-affirming medical treatment recently argued, "It's your body and your choice," regarding coronavirus vaccinations. He said the family is now scrambling to find another state where it can continue Harley's medical care. "We just don't want people meddling in our medical care," he said. Yeah, isn't this just the... Oh, hi, Penny. Isn't this just the exact same fucking thing? Isn't this the same argument that Republicans gave for not wanting Obamacare or single payer or whatever? We don't want people meddling in our medical care. We don't want people to come between us and our doctors. Right? The choice to get vaccinated should be between a person and their doctor, right? Isn't that? Don't you remember that? That was just like what, months ago. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What's happening? Ooh, goodness gracious. Harley received puberty blockers, which stop her from going through male puberty, only after consulting with a team of doctors for years. She said it's weird to see lawmakers with no medical experience call her medication child abuse, when 6 doctors agreed she should have it. Similar bans are moving forward in other states. In Texas, Republican Governor Greg Abbott has ordered the state's child welfare agency to investigate as review supports of transition care for kids. And a law in Arkansas bans gender-affirming medications. That law has been blocked by a court, however. Trans youth in many red states say they feel attacked, angry, betrayed, and scared by the wave of legislation aimed at them. It feels like a backstab, Harley said. I've lived in this state my whole life. For them to just say, well, you know what, this is an issue that's really popular on my side of the aisle, so I'm just going to raise it up and support it because that'll help me win my election. It just hurts to see them say that. Yeah. Yeah, this is absurd. I'm really upset about this. Yeah. I mean, come on. Look at this. This is just... What do you even do? What do you even say? Think the government is trying to make you straight? I know. I feel it every day. I feel the pressure. Look at this woman. You think she knows anything about how to turn a computer on, let alone what transgender care is? No! This woman doesn't know how to charge her phone, okay? I guarantee you. I promise you. She's like, power cable? What's that? Transgenders? I don't know about all that now. I bet that's how she sounds. I wish Greg Abbott many fallen trees. Well, hey, no, my people. Don't do that. My people will need to stand tall. You know that her Google search history is how to rotate in MS Paint or how to open PDF. No, it's not. Do you know why? because she doesn't have she doesn't know how to use Google search for that shit, okay? That's why her Google search history is probably just like open email. And that's it. That's all she's got. Look up Greg Abbott Oak Tree. I know, Penny. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I know, though. I know. All right. So, this is Kay Ivy. Is that her name? Yeah, Kay Ivy. This is Kay Ivy, and she's somebody who's really mad, I guess. Somebody who's really mad. I'm sorry, Miss Kay Ivy. I'm sorry. You're so mad.